Hello, everyone. I'm Allison Gigi Kelly, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of the challenge Double Agents, episode 49.
Episode 49 million.
49 million thousand, and it's never ending. It's going on so long that a new season is going to start on Paramount Plus.
And probably finish up before this season's finished.
Probably. I wouldn't. Hello, you got Tyler, as always, with me. And, of course, our number one patron and go-to guy, Matthew Henning, and he's still moderating the chat. He's still, don't be advertising in my chat. I'm watching you people. Anyway.
You cannot escape my moderating powers.
Going to happen, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Friday. I had a nervous breakdown today, go figure, because I've come to the realization I can't wear black anymore. Because I have 4 of these and it's all over me.
I thought you were going to say you couldn't wear black because of the challenge and their confessional outfits, and they've just traumatized black tops for you forever.
That's why I'm wearing a black top. I could find my turtleneck, though, but it's okay.
Matt, how are you feeling about the season right now?
I was just, ironically, I was just talking to a friend who has not watched any of the season, asked me, am I enjoying it? I think I actually am.
Yeah?
I think there are some flaws. It's not perfect, but what challenge season really ever is perfect?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I will say though, like I feel like this was one of the better episodes of the season. Like there was like some drama, and of course, like the big upset of the night, Corey beating Jarrell in the competition was really pretty crazy to me. I don't know. I expected
just looking at the competition itself, it didn't seem like an upset because it definitely fit Corey's body type.
Yeah, a
lot better than it did Jarrell's.
Yeah, and that's fair. I just think like Jarrell is just like such a powerhouse in like the I don't know, just like the challenge world, right? That like, and especially Corey has like not won anything this season. He's been rotating partners left and right. I just feel like he's had like the odds like stacked against him this entire season.
And so he's on his 7th partner by the end of this episode.
I lost count. I don't even know. They're all gone. I'm just happy to see Big T and CT reunited.
Now, my question is, like, could she have said no to that offer? Or, like, does CT have, like, the ultimate decision there?
I'm pretty sure CT has the ultimate decision, as he was the one who was robbed. I mean, if she had said, no, I don't want to, I mean, he could have picked Amber.
Yeah.
But I also think he kind of had to pick Big T because let's say he picks Amber, Big T can't go for the gold skull the following.
So then she's done, right?
He's basically done.
I wonder if production told him you got to.
I mean, production probably told him. I mean, as we got into the episode, we kind of saw CT had buyer's remorse.
Yeah, totally.
On the Cam situation, so. Production might have just said, hey, we need you to pick her. Otherwise, we're going to have a really big problem. But
yeah, listen, Devin's gone. Problem. We need the entertainment.
Yeah.
Listen, we're at a stalemate.
Listen, Lolo quit. Natalie Anderson had to leave too. Like we are dropping like flies here. So they needed CT to stay and partner back up with Big T for sure.
I love how Nani was instantly regretting Fessy as a partner.
Yeah,
I think that was a very good tie-in into how this episode was going to go when they were talking about their like buyer's remorse. That something was going to change by the end of the episode, and it did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something's definitely changed. That competition in the past, they didn't have little mini oxygen tanks this big. You went down there and held your damn breath.
Well, so, I will say it didn't really help most of them. Like, it's insane to me how many of these people are like disqualifying from all these challenges.
Well, it's like, what are you bitching about? At least you have the little tiny can of air. Other people didn't
Though in
have
like previous challenges where they've had to like stay underwater, there have been like the underwater tanks that you like scoot into and can catch your breath. And then have to go under. Honestly, this is probably one of the nicer underwater challenges because you could actually see what's in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, take advantage of like how clear that water is, right?
I love how Big T made it and Corey didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you know, Fessy kicked Nani in the face, and she was still able to like at least try. You know, Corey couldn't do it. Says that like a friend almost drowned him as a kid, which is like totally valid. But like, I feel like there is an excuse for like every single competition, the guy is just like not wanting to do it, right?
I don't. And Fessy trying to grab Nani back under the water, and TJ's like, "Look, I'm sorry, you can't drown your partner."
Right? That was so cringy.
And I feel like this episode, I'm hoping it's foreshadowing to a Big T skull-in next week. And if that happens, I could see Big T getting paid, because I have a feeling like 2 or 3 of these pairs won't get paid at all. Because if they send all 5 pairs, usually it's only top 3, so that means 2 pairs won't get paid.
So they would run the final, but just like there's only a first, second, and third.
Yeah, I mean there have been previous seasons where only first and second have gotten paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Rivals won. Because Leroy and Mike and Jen and Mandy got third for the women and men and did not get paid.
Yeah.
Who could, if they put Big T in next week, which probably will happen. I mean, come on. Who is she going to go get? Who could she go against?
There's 4 options, but there's only 2 feasible options, and it's Aneesa and Nani.
Yeah.
I think she goes after Nani more than she does Aneesa because of Aneesa's history with eliminations. You don't really want to mess with that if you don't have to.
I think it's very dependent on the actual thing, you know, right?
It depends upon if she's the house vote, then whoever is like the double agents can kind of help set her up for it.
Yeah.
But if like Casey or Cam or whoever is the house vote, she just has to deal with what's in front of her.
And that's the thing, Matt, is like this format has been like so broken. Like the fact that like everybody is just kind of like working together to like make the matchups happen that they want. And Kyle was like speaking for all of us in this episode by being like, come on, like let's put up CT against Jarrell. Like how great would that be? And I can't I have to imagine.
And I'm wondering what production would have done if Kyle had been like, I'm putting in CT.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stop me.
Right, yeah. But Aneesa said, nope, CT is my old school buddy. I can't like put both of them against each other, which is fair, but like it would have been such a great elimination and good television. It would have been
a very interesting elimination.
Yeah, and good for their game too.
Yeah, CT would have jerked up Jarrell. Sorry, Jarrell.
No, he's in this channel. He's Jarrell.
Okay,
on the challenge, he's Jarrell. But
I can't say Jarrell lost, so I'm going to call him Jarrell. I just really think CT would have yanked him up and just like it would have been just like carrying Johnny Bananas on his back.
Yeah.
I mean that's exactly what it wouldn't have been. I don't think it'd been fair, but you know. What is it? Bananas would say, "All is fair and love and war."
In the challenge.
In the challenge, yeah.
Yep. So, but you know, we just got it. We're getting into the, like I've said before, the episodes are very rinse repeat. Everybody's got a skull except Big T. So at this point, it's who's going to go.
Big T and Corey coming into the episode.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. Nothing outstanding happened. You know, it's just. Devin's gone. I just want to say last week when I
need to address something that happened last week.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, because I do too.
And it came out of Tyler Lyons' mouth when he slandered me on this channel. The week before, when he was talking about the skull situation, he was saying I was like being some sort of a hater about it. Tyler wanted a 6th pity skull for either Big T or Corey. And I said that was stupid in the chat. But that is not what he presented on this channel when I'm not here for him to say it to my face.
Okay, so I don't call it a pity skull. I consider it like a last chance skull. You know, where like
everyone's getting a chance, so you don't need it.
I know, but I'm thinking about like, so remember in like the island how they had like one last key,
yes,
where like all of them had that, like they had to go like underwater, like tied to like a weight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Evelyn or Kellyanne that got that one. One of those two.
I think it was Ev finally got it because she couldn't be blocked from it.
Yeah, and but like I mean, Evelyn in that finale made for like one of the most iconic moments in the challenge history, you know. But of course, like we love Evelyn, right? She did no wrong in challenge history. But that's a whole nother tangent. What I'm saying is that competition to me, I still remember that, and am talking about it like 10 years later. Like it was a really good moment for the show, and I just think like a competition that's like how bad do you want it type of thing for that very last chance.
I just think the problem is the fact is they're going to be running in guy-girl pairs,
right?
And it'll probably be a rotational thing, and that's why I said this won't work. Like on the island, it did work, because of how that was being formatted,
right?
But because you have pairs, you can't have one person running solo.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Matt, is like I feel like going into this season, I was really excited about like the complexity of the format, but I just feel like they've put themselves in such a rigid square box of like.
I think everyone's expecting these pairs to be the pairs that run the final, but I have a feeling it's going to be rotation, like they have done in every challenge. In like the past few challenges,
like so rotating in like different like chunks of the final.
Yeah, like they'll break the final up into probably like 5 parts, and in each part, one guy will get each guy and each girl will be paired up at least once.
So then why
no one has a fair advantage?
So then why is Fessy like complaining about like I don't want to be stuck with Anissa in the final?
Because I don't think they know that.
Okay.
Or Fessy is just stupid. That's the other option. Is
that's not even an if.
I'm trying to be somewhat nice sometimes.
No,
I'm
why
saying
start now?
That's a good point. He is an idiot. But like I have a feeling. I think everyone's assuming you're going to get locked into partners, and I just don't think that's the case.
Okay.
You know what I think? I think it's going to be a free for all.
And it could also be that.
I really feel in my gut it's going to be a free-for-all in the end. And I don't know this. I mean, I know some spoilers, but based on what I just kind of feel like it's going to be a free-for-all. And
I've avoided looking at the spoilers. So
I'd love to see that because
all of my theories are based off what goes through my head.
I would love to see that, Allison, because I feel like Cam could beat half of these like pussy-ass guys in the finale.
Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
Cam could probably be Corey.
Yeah.
She could probably. I know she can beat Corey. Like of the guys who are left, I know she can beat Corey. She could probably give Kyle a good run for his money. I don't think she's beating CT. Who else has a skull for the guys? Fessy. She could beat Fessy because she could probably get to a puzzle and actually do it, and Fessy probably couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Fessy's going to burn out on the brain stuff.
Yeah.
I also liked, as janky as the challenge was, I liked it, just because, like we got to see some of this beautiful Icelandic scenery.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
And it was a very straightforward challenge. There were no real like super gimmicks to it. Is you stay underwater, you get your rings, you come back, you do a tiny little unscramble.
I had no complaints about this challenge. I loved it. Like visually, I totally agree, Matt. Like they're really taking advantage of the beautiful Icelandic environment that's in front of them, and everybody had to talk about tectonics.
I also like TJ's swerve when he was announcing the winner, because like CT and Cam thought it was going to be them, and it's like, nah, it's Kyle and Anissa. They smoked you all.
Okay, so I have a question about that. So I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here.
Okay.
So Tyler has a theory. What if production like fudged Anissa and Kyle as the winner of this challenge?
I mean, I could buy that. I also think they stretched out how long theirs looked to confuse people.
That's what I was gonna say.
To give the fake, oh my god, they're going in. because that was what they were building to that point.
Right.
Was like, oh, Kyle and Nisa are going in. Look, everybody, Kyle and Nisa are going in. Oh, wait, Kyle and Nisa aren't going in.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, I feel like once they saw everybody, like, just coming together, breaking the format of the show and saying, it doesn't matter, like, they're going to go in and they're going to go home, like, that's that, whatever. Like, what's, like, I feel like we saw Leroy and Casey go through that so fast, and, even applauded themselves on the puzzle part, too.
We don't actually know how fast it was, because unlike some other seasons, they show you, the times.
Yeah.
And because we don't see any times, we don't know how, like,
why do you think they didn't show the times?
All right, put your tinfoil hat away.
Right.
Put the tinfoil hat away.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like the producers know that, like, they don't really have much of a show, and they have an hour and a half to fill. So why not make the underdog?
Why is it an hour and a half now? I mean,
it was an hour the week, like it was an hour the week before, and then suddenly it was an hour and a half this week, and I was
it was great as an hour.
Perfect as an hour. I was like, let me tell you something. Wednesday or like before it even came on, I was trying to figure out how freaking long it was going to be. I'm like, it's going to be an hour. It's going to be an hour and a half. What's going on here? And I'm like, we don't need at this. I can understand in the beginning when there's so many people, we need an hour and a half.
Or if it's when we get to the final episode, whenever that happens to be, that can be an hour and a half. But I think the hour long, especially with so few people, I think is more palatable. Because we know who our characters are. We know like their storylines, what they are.
Yeah. I mean, that is fair. But I just feel like this was a good episode. It would have been a killer episode and I feel like we wouldn't have lost anything. Like, did we really need like a quick like igloo segment or like the slow-mos of them all working out?
We never need that.
Like things like that. Like the fact definitely could have been trimmed to keep it an hour and still understand everything.
I did like the conversation between Darnell and
Jarrell.
Shit.
And was it the Jarrell and Leroy conversation?
Yes, I do like how they were kind of going. If you put me in, I'm taking. I'm gonna take your partner.
I'm gonna take your partner. I'm gonna take your partner. I also liked before the challenge the Kyle and Anissa conversation because it basically cleared out any potential tension the two of them had.
Yeah, I liked it.
Be like, I have made fun of you behind your back, to your face, left, right, and center. And he says, like, yes, I know.
Kyle has grown on me a little bit. I thought it was funny when he was going to Corey, going, "You're gonna come after me. Now you can have none of it. You can't have it." I thought that was cute. I thought it was fun. He's growing on me. I like Kyle when Cara, Maria, and Polly and Bananas are not on the season. I think it's really
because Kyle isn't focused on his grudge with Polly, his grudge with Cara Maria.
Right.
He can be Kyle.
Right. So that's not an issue. So this was one incident where the Igloo fake party was fine. And I just, once again, loving the music. They started it out with Steve Winwood, Roll With It from 1988. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm back in the freaking 4th grade, y'all. It's like, I remember that video on MTV. Paula Abdul choreographed it. Yep, I know a lot. I'm full of useless shit. But anyway, that's why I have a YouTube channel. So, but, other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent episode, but it is kind of rinse repeat at this point.
Though I do think it's one of the better episodes they've had this season.
Yes,
definitely.
It definitely was. It's kind of like who's going to get Amber. We'll see next week.
I think Amber just got a free ticket to the final.
I really think
that's what I was thinking too.
If Big T gets a shot at a skull, she can't challenge Amber because you can't challenge the rogue agent.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
and they made it seem like, oh, I'm on my own now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Little old me. But I'm like, you are guaranteed a spot in the final.
Like that. That was my that's what I was thinking when it was like, I don't know why you're whining.
Right. My face was like the woman with like the math calculation meme. That was
like you can't lose your skull.
Yeah.
There's only one person left who can challenge for a skull.
Mm-hmm.
And she cannot challenge you. So what the fuck are you complaining about? That you're going to get some leftover male partner? Yeah, that's kind of the way the game works.
Yeah. So Amber B is the only rookie left, right? I really feel like this season would have been so much better if they just like cut the cast by like 8 people. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think if we had done 20 instead of 30.
Yeah. It's just too many people. It's just too much.
As much as we loved Gabby and Amber M, you know what I mean? Like, what did they contribute to the show? Like, as much as we
Gabby contributed the biggest bonehead move of the season by not going in and challenging Amber M when she had the chance.
Yeah. Right.
And she provided Fessy something to flirt with for the bulk of the season, thus giving Fessy something to actually do, other than bitch about Anissa keeps making me her partner.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Caitlin Weaver in the chat. Oh, let's say hi to people in the chat. I'm so sorry. I got JL in there, Sam Higdon, Matt, of course. Caitlin Weaver, welcome.
Everywhere.
You're everywhere. Rel Walker. We've got a lot of people I haven't seen before, unless you've been here and I just haven't noticed, and I apologize. Hey, look, we got some more baby news.
Yeah, I heard that Kyle's going to be a dad.
Congratulations.
And Jenna's also pregnant.
Jenna and Zach got married this past weekend, and so did Nicole Franzel and
we don't care about her.
Victor. Yeah. I'm pretty confident that Victor took Nicole's last name since he has no manhood or dignity left.
True.
It's true. He's just Victor.
Let's not taint this with those two.
Yeah.
Let's leave this pure space free of them.
We've got anyway, that's about it for the episode. We're gonna have some news dropped on us next week, and I think it's gonna be that they're gonna be running the final rogue themselves.
I think they're basically they could probably do a 30-minute chunk of will Big T get a skull, yes or no, and then an hour long, like if it's gonna be a 90-minute episode, like the first 30 minutes will be to determine whether Big T gets a skull.
Trust me.
And the rest of the hour will be them running the final, probably spending a good 10 minutes of watching them puke because they'll give them some weird Icelandic food.
I don't think so. I heard that like the season isn't wrapping up until like the last week of April.
Jesus Christ! Like I'm in night sweats over this. So let's talk about.
Then I don't know. Maybe they're as JL suggested.
That's what I've heard.
See how you can squeeze 6.
I have certainly Googled what does the season of the challenge.
How? What else could they possibly? I have no. Well, now everyone's got a skull, so now you got to get double skulls, or you got to. Can we talk about the? Okay, anyway.
Yes. So now we're going to transition over to talking about, now that we have the official cast of the Challenge All-Stars, is what they're calling it.
Starts April 1st.
Yes.
And it's going to stream on Paramount Plus exclusively. Now,
Allison has funded the entirety of this season.
I funded this entire All-Star season with my subscription.
This was her baby. This is what her funding of.
Because I'm still getting commercials. When you sign up for this and you don't choose the package without commercials, you're screwed. No,
I have the package. I have the package with commercials. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Absolutely fucked, because I have tried and tried and tried to change it. I've deleted it and started it over, done everything I possibly can, and I'm still watching freaking commercials and getting charged $89,000 a month. So you're welcome for the All-Stars on Paramount Plus that streams April 1st. Let's zoom. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Let's just go through this.
So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Who is that?
I have no idea. Okay, so all right. So are you asking who this is?
No, there were 2 girls talking. Oh,
I was gonna say, Allison, this is Arista from the Real World Las Vegas. I remember her being such an instigator, such a troublemaker, and somebody that was just kind of like over any kind of like production.
Original Las Vegas. So she's the original season of Las Vegas, not when the return to Vegas.
We have 3 people from the original Las Vegas on this cast. Just saying.
I have watched every season of the Real World. How is she not? Why am I not clocking her right now?
because she only competed on one challenge in 2004, so it has been a very hot minute since we've seen Arissa in any way, shape, or form. But I'm really excited to see her
17 years
play.
ago.
Yeah, looks a little thin to me. Look at that arm.
She's always been like very, very thin.
That's thinner. That's a thin arm.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, like she's got a really badass like looking like I'm about to win this bitch. But we'll see. Any thoughts on Arissa, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I don't have a lot of faith in these people who have only played one challenge, especially when it was a decade plus ago.
I will say that like this and this is just another Tyler's theory. So I think like after they see how successful the Real World New York reunion is going to be, I think the next season they could look at for a reunion season is the original Las Vegas cast.
Now I'm gonna first of all, I want a real foil tin hat. I want you to make one, and you're gonna wear it from now on.
Anytime I have like a theory about what's going on.
No.
I just thought his poop hat would be his tinfoil hat.
Just wear the poop hat.
Just take the poop hat, cover it in tinfoil, call it a day.
That's reserved for when Allison wins the Big Brother Canada.
Listen, here's the thing. I think they should like really go old school. Like you could get season 2 together, but season 3. You had Pedro, who, God rest his soul, has passed away. You've got 2 people from that cast who are married. You've got Puck. You've got an interesting group of people who've really gone on to do other. It is a very interesting group. I would like to see that group. San Francisco, I believe.
Yeah, it was Real World San Francisco.
San Francisco. I'd like to see a redo because they're only together for 7 days.
Yeah. It's not like they're doing like 3 months of in a house again.
And Eric has COVID.
Or however long it was.
Have you guys watched the 3rd episode?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it after this. Am I going to?
I haven't watched it either. So
I haven't watched any of it.
It's so good, Matt. It is.
Matt,
is fantastic.
This is what's been consuming Matt's life lately.
I know, and that comes first. Well,
I was supposed to be on last night, but my professor changed my exam. He decided we're going to bump it up a day.
Your professor needs to understand our schedule.
Yeah. All right.
I will forward you his email.
So next is Gizella from Road Rules The Quest. With 3 challenges under her belt, she has never won one. So I looked at her Instagram because I'll be honest, I have not seen her Road Rules.
It has been a minute. Like I can't even now what. She only played that one. How is this All Stars if it's people that played one time?
No, not the Inferno.
She's won. She's been in 3 challenges.
Oh,
is that Gauntlet 2's logo on the bottom?
Can you zoom
in her picture?
Wait, what?
Like in her like picture where it's like the last show she was on.
Yeah,
I think it's Gauntlet 2, isn't it?
It is the Gauntlet 2. Yeah.
I can't see it. Can you zoom it in?
I don't think you can zoom in. Well, I mean, he can actually.
Oh, yeah. Go up. I want to read. No, up.
What?
Go up. I want to read. What part of up? That's down. Go. I want to see what Gizella's down. Okay, original. Okay,
I said it to you. I read it out loud.
With 3 challenges. Okay, fine. She's 40. I want to see how old these people are. How old is Arissa now?
So she is 40 now. So on her Instagram, she's been like really hyping up this season. So I feel like she is very excited to return. I hope we see some like really fun, entertaining moments out of her. I feel like I'm really going to like what I see from Gizella.
I will pull up the same thing that Tyler's looking at, Allison, so I can answer your questions when he chooses not to.
Hey, I want to answer a question.
Arissa is 42.
Okay. Sam, what season of The Real World should I watch? Okay, Sam, I'm going to be honest with you. Start from the beginning.
I have a different answer.
Okay, well, no, you didn't. If you really want to understand the real world and see a real evolution, watch it from the beginning and don't listen to anything Tyler says. Okay.
I mean, if I was going to say a season to start with, I would have said San Francisco.
That is a good season. But go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead.
I would say Austin. And then like after it gets bad, go back to like the originals, like 1, 2, whatever. Like I feel like Austin is like the start of like the golden age of like what the real world is known for in like its modern era. Oh, that's something else.
Haircut.
It said something about like Star Wars haircuts or something. Okay, so this is Kellyanne. Speaking of that golden era of the real world that I grew up with, so she is from the real world Sydney. She's been on 4 seasons. I would say like most infamously, her and Sarah were the only 2 remaining in the Ruins finale against all the veterans. Like
almost won that too.
They almost won, yeah. So I really hope Kellyanne like pulls out a win here because I think it's long overdue. She is in amazing shape, and I've always liked her as a character. I feel like people are.
I've been rewatching some old challenge seasons to like kind of remember some of these people.
Yeah.
And the last time Kellyanne was on Bloodlines, and I did not like her as a character in that season. And
I didn't see Bloodlines.
She could go somewhere else.
She's only 34. Wow. Hey, I wonder how much Botox we're going to see in these ladies.
A lot.
A lot. Like I can already tell from Kelly. I can already tell.
But I mean, like, I don't think of Kellyanne as like the all-stars. I think had to be put in to cover up for the OG vibe that they were originally pitching because she is not.
Oh, of course. But like, so that's a really interesting question. Actually, is like, what do you guys think is like the cutoff of OGs? Because I think they took OG and threw it away. Okay, but
so
like
that they could squeeze, because I'm betting there were some OGs that they really wanted,
right,
and could not get.
I don't think there is a cutoff because, honey, they went all the way back to the beginning and got Mark.
Right. No, that's true. But like, what in the other way? I mean, like, what's the cutoff for like what's too new to be considered OG?
I think anything in the last 10 years.
Okay.
I think you have to almost dismiss half this cast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. I'm just saying, because
I think that's why they rebranded it from like the rumored was like, OGs. The challenge OGs to the challenge All-Stars.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to make that definitive definition.
Oh, here we go.
Next we have Janae from Real World Cancun. She hasn't competed since 2015, but Janae, 32, has 5 seasons of experience. And honestly, I think she's kind of a flop on all 5 seasons. I'm sorry.
Her team with Jasmine in her rookie season, she made a deep run. I think she made it to right before the finals.
Yeah, but like that's
Rivals
like,
1.
She's never memorable to me in any of the seasons that she's on.
She dated Zach.
Yeah. Because that was her ex's partner.
Yeah, that was her ex's partner, and that was the whole. That's kind of what I like. I remember on Cancun, but I also remember her and him getting into it and all of that. And this was pre-Jenna.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my God, like they
that's the season when Zach and Jenna, I think, start getting together. Yeah. And then Janae and Jay start flirting.
Yeah.
In that same season.
Yes. Yeah. That's
X's 2.
That's when Sarah and Jordan win.
And that's when DM gets medevac.
Sam says, where can you watch The Real World? On Paramount Plus is definitely the best.
Funded completely by Allison S. Kelly.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know. I would rather see some other people here than Janae.
I have a feeling she might have been one of the people that they reached out to because they couldn't get someone. Like maybe I know Evelyn has said now that the season has like ended. She would like to do like season like 2 or 3 if there is a season 2 or 3. I did
hear that. Yeah.
I have a feeling like Janae might have been a replacement for Evelyn because she might have declined. Well, so like, okay, who can we get on last second?
There were some alternates, and I can bring that up now, but Cook was one of the alternates, and I think that I would have rather seen Cook than Janae here. Cook had a really great like single performance in the challenge, and people still talk about her.
Yeah, but does she actually want to come back?
She was an alternate. She flew out
was
there.
Was she actually an alternate?
Yeah. Her and Kahada were the alternates.
Kahada. Man, what a blast from the past. Okay.
And Sam brings up a good point. Emily Schramm should have been on. So like when you're saying like better cast for season 2 of this, that's the first person I thought of, Matt, was Emily Schramm. That would be, I would love to see her and Evelyn compete against each other.
Is Paula on this season?
We'll
probably get there. I would like to see Paula again.
Yeah, totally. All right. So next we have
Jimmy.
She looks
Jimmy
so.
from New Orleans.
Don't even recognize her in that picture.
Only
with the blonde.
30 freaking 2 years old. How was she only 32? She was just on The Real World.
She was on Real World. She was on New Orleans.
Yeah.
But
she must have been like 19 or 20 when she did The Real World. She must have been.
The original Real World New Orleans was in 2000, so it had to have been back to New Orleans.
It was back to New Orleans.
Okay.
It was in 2010.
Okay, that's right. And she looks great. I love the blonde.
She's giving me very much Daenerys, like the way her hair is styled.
Yeah.
And the way her face, like the makeup on her face, is giving me very much Daenerys.
I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I totally know what you mean.
I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones, but I've seen enough clips of it.
Yeah, I'm expecting Jemmy to be another hot mess like she always is. But like where like John A is like meh to me, like Jemmy's like good TV and especially good in confessionals and
keep
stuff.
Keep the ketchup.
I was just about to say that.
Keep the ketchup. Condiments, man.
It'll be very interesting. Is this her first season since Knight's passing? Did she appear on another season after Knight died?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I can't be.
I don't think so, Matt. Because Knight and DM passed like within like
right before Bloodlines.
Yeah,
because TJ referenced, their passing, and I don't think Jemmy. No, she might have done Dirty 30, which I think is after Bloodlines.
Well, that's okay. She's never won one before, so maybe this is her time.
But I mean, she has made a final. Her and Camilla made a final together.
Yeah, she did one after. It's in the chat. She did. It was Final Reckoning. Okay.
Thank you, chat. Saving us as always. So next we have Anissa. At 39, Anissa has yet to win the grand prize during her 14 seasons.
Now, is that a spoiler, or is that they just are?
That's a good question.
Wow. Well, shit. Y'all really think she's good? No offense. I love her. She ain't winning.
I hope she
bless her heart.
Final. I hope Anissa at least makes the final and gets paid. Something.
Yeah, she makes some money. I think you should get some money if you get a gold skull. I mean, I kind of do. You put in the work.
Like a 5,000. Like if you get a gold skull, here's $5,000. Be happy.
So I mean, Sarah's talked about like on the Brain Candy podcast, like how much you get paid to like go on the challenge, and it increases every time that you go. So I'm sure Anissa's payout to even be on these challenges now is probably a pretty penny.
Yeah,
so
it ain't no $5,000.
She's no loser. She's no loser in the finale, regardless of what happens.
Sam said, and I'm sorry to interrupt, that Jimmy did Dirty 30, Vendetta, and Final Reckoning. Okay,
I remembered her on Dirty 30 because I remember her screwing over Jenna.
Yeah.
And that being a humongous deal.
Whoa, Kendall
Shepard from Road Rules Campus Crawl. Kendall 40 only appeared on one challenge.
That is a blast right there. Botox. I see it.
I can see her being
Juvederm.
And I just feel bad for all of these people who did like 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have like the connections.
Yeah.
And
but she looks like she's in great shape.
She looks like she's in very good shape.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like she's going to be at a handicap. Because.
Was she involved in the suitcase throwing? Was that
probably.
her?
I don't remember. I've never seen Road Rules, so
whose suitcase got?
No, there was a season of the challenge where someone took 3 girls took another girl's suitcase.
Oh, that was the Inferno 2.
Was it the Inferno 2?
Yeah, with Tanya.
And that looks like an Inferno. That looks like an Inferno 2 cut. I can see her being like one of the
Yeah.
We're gonna throw. Wasn't it Tanya's bag?
They threw Veronica, Rachel, and
I think Kendall.
Yeah.
I think it was Tanya or Robin's bag.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. I mean, like, I don't know who Kendall is, but like, she seems like I feel like I can like see some like fight in her eyes, kind of like Arissa. Like, I feel like we could get some good stuff out of her, but I'm unfamiliar with Kendall Shepard. So, Allison, any thoughts on Kendall?
That is a book. I mean, look at the Road Rules Campus Crawl. I mean, that's how long ago we're going back here. I can't remember a lot of her, but it'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be fine.
All right. So next we have Katie Boyle.
Katie.
Love Katie Boyle. Over her 9 seasons, Katie 41 has taken home 1 win. I always love to see Katie. I'm very happy to see her here. She looks great. God bless her. She is royalty in the challenge community. If she gets mad, she'll grab a plunger and try to whack you over the head.
Will she rekindle her like long-standing friendship with Eric?
Yeah, I mean, her and
Big Easy, whatever you want to call him.
Her and Big Easy were partners in freshman.
Me.
And they're both back on this season, so I'm excited to see like that dynamic. But also, apparently, her and Trishelle like were really good friends. They were in each other's wedding, and from what I've heard, they have like a falling out at some point this season. So I hope that like they show that on TV.
What kind of season would it be without someone falling out with Trishelle because of something stupid she said?
Oh, listen, hey, Matt, what season would it be without someone calling Trishelle Trashelle?
Trashelle, yeah.
Because they did. They called her Trashelle.
But, yeah, because I was watching a recent season of like I've just been watching on Paramount Plus because Allison funded it, so I have to support Allison.
Right.
And watching previous seasons and seeing her get into a fight with Anissa.
Mm-hmm.
He was the original Las Vegas cast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In Real World.
She did like Playboy after like that's how big the Real World was at the time. And her and Steven and Bryn, I think, had that threesome in the hot tub. That was like a big deal for like television at the time to air that happening. Las Vegas was a very transformative season for the Real World. All right, next we have Tech from Real World Hawaii.
Wow.
He's 45 years old and he's only competed in 1 previous challenge. Take it away, Allison. I've never seen Real World Hawaii.
Okay, he's interesting, straight up, straightforward guy. Mm-hmm. He's not going to hold back. I'm a little fuzzy, but yeah, that 1 challenge. And what season was it again? Hawaii. That was okay. The one thing that sticks out to me about Hawaii was Ruthie.
Ruthie is back as well.
So drunk. They had to call it. I mean, she got blackout, belligerent, like it was scary. Mm-hmm. And they had to call an ambulance and stuff. Like it was really bad. And it was like a point where she had to turn life around. And he was one of the people that was like, look, you got to knock it off.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what to expect from him. I don't know. I can't really.
Isn't because of that incident why Ruthie started like a campaign against like binge drinking and was going around to like colleges?
Oh yeah, I think she turned it around. I think doesn't she have like a twin sister?
No idea.
I don't remember.
I thought she had a sister that came to visit during Hawaii. Anyway, don't get me started.
All right, so next we have Latarian from Road Rules Max Velocity. He competed on 3 challenges. Hasn't won 1 yet. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't remember him at all.
What's his name again? Latarian?
Latarian.
And
I never got to watch any of the Road Rules.
3 challenges.
Max, but he doesn't even look familiar to me at all.
Listen, anything that has road rules in front of it, you know, was pre-21st. It was pre-21st century.
Yeah,
like legit.
So yeah, we don't know anything about Latarian, but we hope he does well.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's in good shape.
Next, we have Ace from Real World Paris. I feel like this is Allison's like wet dream.
Well, my wet dream. Stop that. He's, I think he was in the military. Was he the guy that was in the military? I can't remember. Yeah, I like Ace. Ace is good.
But isn't Ace like always the big flop of most of his seasons? He's like the first or second boot for the guys.
But look what he's dealing with here.
So, I mean, like there's plenty of room for him to improve on this season.
He's got a lot of wiggle room to take the prize this year.
Yeah, I mean, like Ace, he's never one for like drama or anything. He's just like a good old boy, kind of like a Kahada type of character. But I think he was last on the Inferno 3. He made it pretty far before. I think he was like one of the last people to
that might have been his best season.
Yeah. And he worked pretty well with Kara, I think. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. I think he's pretty good to look at.
Real World Paris was what, 2000?
That was CT season.
That was CT and Adam's season.
2001 or 2?
2001 was Chicago because that's when the 9/11 attacks happened.
Okay, because 2002, I think Paris was the first season I watched when I got married.
I see.
The first time.
Yeah.
To Captain Obvious. Anyway.
That's how Allison put all of her pop culture references together.
Everything.
It's the timeline of her marriage.
Everything, a relationship timeline. Okay, that was around the time I had that crazy nervous breakdown, and I was drunk and walking through McDonald's. Drop it. 3 o'clock in the morning. So next.
Okay, so next we have Yes Duffy from Road Rule Semester at Sea. It's been 19 years.
And I read this article like earlier today. Apparently, Mark thinks he's going to be a fan favorite.
Okay. So, I can see it.
Mark kind of dropped like hints that like I think it was Yes and someone else, and I can't it's in the top of the article. That he believes Yes will be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling he's going to do good.
Yeah.
If Mark's like
I just love how close in age they are to me. I'm just loving it.
Gizella. He's also saying will be a fan favorite because of her heart.
Oh, I do remember seeing that online. But yeah, I don't know Yes, but I think a lot of people are very excited to see Yes in particular back to play. I think he's going to be a really entertaining character. He seems like he's in really good shape, so we'll see how he does. Any thoughts on Yes, Allison?
No. He looks in good shape.
We stand a drunk break anytime.
Yes.
Reality show, an Allison story. If it's a drunk breakdown, I want to hear about it. Okay.
All right. So next we have Alton.
Wow.
So the last time we saw him was on Battle of the Seasons, and he did not do well. He was like really over like the party life of the challenge, and was just kind of like a cranky old man who like really didn't care that like Nani was going to go home.
He was also prepared. Wasn't he paired with Trishelle and Nani and someone else?
Yeah, they had a Real World Vegas team. And they were with Nani, Dustin, and Trishelle. So
he was just like I think he was just over those three and trying to carry that weight.
Yeah, but he put himself into elimination, and it was a pairs elimination. So like Nani had to go in as well, and he basically just kind of like threw it. And Nani was really upset because she was like, this is my first I think that was her first.
That was her season. That was her first season.
Yeah. And she just got like a total raw deal. Like basically, her and Trishelle had to like be like, okay, so who's gonna go home with Alton? It was just really.
Was it rock paper scissors to determine who?
Yeah, something like that. And then Trishelle and Dustin made it all the way to the finale, which is pretty weird. But
I think it's because they just stopped picking on them when they were like, oh, it's Trishelle and Dustin. I can let that get to a final.
Right.
I stomped the living daylights out of that.
And then before that, he was on the Inferno 3, where he was really into the game, like made it pretty far. I think he ran the finale for that one.
I think that's the one he won.
Yeah. Okay. No, the Badasses won the Inferno 3 because Kara and Suki, like really.
All of these seasons that have had teams, it's so hard to remember who was on what team.
Yeah.
And what team actually won or what team. Like there was one season where, like the Badasses won almost every single challenge, but the good guys won the final challenge. Thus, both groups got like the 3. Like both groups got like roughly the same payout. Yeah. Because
like Alton is first of all, he hasn't aged a day. Like he still looks exactly the same, which like how do you bottle that and send it over to me?
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I just hope that we get the Alton that like gives a shit about being there.
Listen, yeah, you give a shit after 20 years.
I think if it's an individual challenge, we'll get the Alton who gives the shit. If they try to force them into like teams or pairs or something,
I don't want to see that.
His give a shit level might drop significantly.
I feel like it's going to be a pretty individual game.
It looks.
Nehemiah.
There's not enough like connections to make it into like a team game.
That's true.
So I'm hoping it's an individual game.
So next we have Nehemiah from Real World Austin.
He hasn't aged either.
What's that?
Does he look like he's aged at all?
No, like he looks like in a lot better shape than he has previously been.
Like if you switch those two pictures around, I would easily buy that picture is him in his 20s.
Yeah, for real. So I'm excited to see Nehemiah back, especially because Beth is here as well. And they had a little flirt mans going on the duel, if you remember that.
Oh, no. She had her flirt mans, and then when Nehemiah got wind of it, what Beth was saying, he was like, Beth, no.
Listen, Beth is never wrong in Tyler's world.
I mean,
we all have to bow down.
Why does that not shock me at all?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I think she said he's my little tenderoni.
This explains so much. Tyler is a Beth stan.
Listen, if Beth is calling him her little tenderoni, I'm excited to see him back. He won one of 4 challenges, and Real World Austin was the first season I watched.
He won the season where Eric was on the other team and didn't finish the final.
Yeah.
And thus the good guys.
Okay, so he had like a default.
By default. Yeah. I feel like that's the season he was on.
Hey, a win's a win, right?
They had jobs. Remember they made them have jobs on the Real World?
Yeah.
Trivia question.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you what their job was that season.
No, it's not the job. What season did they start that?
I have no idea because I did not have cable for most of my life, so I did not get to see the Real World.
It started, and I know this,
I believe you know this.
5 years ago when I was pregnant with my son in the summer of '96 in Miami was when they made them have jobs for the first time.
Okay.
That will come up in life sometime, somewhere, and it'll win you something, and you're welcome.
Cool.
So
that is
Matthew was either 7 or 8, depending upon the time of year that year.
That is a good trivia fact, Allison.
It's a fun fact.
I think Nehemiah will do pretty well here, actually. So next we have Mark. Look at that picture of him, the old picture.
I love it.
Here's the one thing I will say about Mark that I feel like Tyler's tinfoil hat should be out. He's the executive producer of this show. Yeah. Should you be competing and producing?
Look at that Botox.
I mean, CT is basically an executive producer, and he's on.
Yeah, but Mark's actually getting credit for being the executive producer. CT is getting unofficial credit.
So I think this is a special circumstance because Mark is the one that got this together.
Yeah, I understand why Mark is getting that credit. I'm just someone's going to be like, if Mark makes the final, they're going to be like, he produced it to give himself a final and a win.
Yeah, but I think he's self-aware enough to know that he probably isn't in it to win it. I really think, guys, that he's just very passionate about the challenge and really excited about this franchise and wants to make a really great opportunity with these OGs and stuff. He's been so excited about it. So I mean, I think
when I heard this concept, I thought Mark was going to be the host.
Yeah,
I thought they would have TJ with the main brand, and I thought Mark was going to be hosting.
Yeah, I personally don't have a problem with him.
I will never forget watching the first season of Road Rules in the summer of '95 when I was 18, and they pierced his ears in the Winnebago. And as soon as it went through the first ear, he goes, "Oh, what's that whistling sound? Oh, that's the next hole in my ear." And it was just so funny the way he went about it. And it was just, I've always really liked him anyway. So
yeah, I mean, Mark is reality TV royalty.
Oh, he's so
I think he's only literally been in one elimination challenge.
Interesting.
When he lost, it was in his last season that he was paired with Robin, Battle of the Exes 2. He and Robin ended up in the last elimination challenge before the final.
He was in the duel too. He never went into elimination.
Yeah, he literally doesn't go into eliminations because he pointed that out to TJ. This is the first time I have been in an elimination challenge.
That's impressive.
In all of my seasons I've been on.
Derek.
All right, so now we have Derek from Road Rules Extreme. 10 challenges and 3 wins.
Beast. I love Derek.
He's a beast with a heart of gold.
He's my win. I got Mark and I got Derek. Just my 2 winners.
I mean, you can put money on Derek because he'll fuck you up. Like,
Derek,
if you go into an elimination challenge with Derek, you will probably leave with cuts, bruises.
You'll leave with brain damage.
There will be blood.
And a permanent
even if it's like a puzzle challenge, there will somehow be blood involved.
You will need a hip replacement if you go into an elimination with Derek.
Mm-hmm. Always excited to see Derek back. Yeah. Great TV, great competitor, a true OG of the challenge and deserves a spot 1,000%.
This is an all-star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now we have Jarrell, who we were just talking about. So he's won 4 of the 9 challenges he's been on. He has one of the most winningest records in the challenge history. So we'll see if the fact that he's still playing Modern the challenge. We'll see if that affects how he does here in the challenge.
Will he align himself with Anissa because they're 2 of the ones who are actually playing Modern challenge?
Maybe. I hope so.
Most recently.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about his cornroll braids back in the day.
I did too.
Oh my God. Even then he was adorable. I love it.
So I don't think we need to spend too much time talking about Jarrell because
we love him.
Because Queen Beth is here from Real World Los Angeles. God bless her at 52, and she looks this good, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen has arrived. She's competed on 7 seasons, but has yet to win because she quits every season that she's on. God bless her.
How many seasons has she even tried to get to the final?
Listen, I think in the trailer for this, she was like, "Don't fuck with me" or something like that. And I was like, yes, we are getting Beth in all of her glory. She is still the same crazy bitch. And I'm so excited to see her back. I love Beth so much.
And she'll quit by the end of episode 3.
Hey, that's 3 more episodes of Beth than I ever thought we would ever get again.
I didn't like Beth the first time I saw her on The Real World. I've never been a fan. I'm sorry, I'm not into it. Okay. If you watch, I don't want to be controversial or anything, but if you watch The Real World 2nd season, there was the infamous blanket fight with her, Tammy, and David. They were joking around, and it was a joke that went too far. Tammy was wrapped up in her comforter naked, and they were all joking around playing, and David was pulling her down the hallway in the blanket saying, stop, laughing and saying, stop. So I know, and it was a joke. I even would have thought it was still a joke, but it got serious and David quit and he stopped and he was like, okay. Beth turned it into, she was like, he was like, well, she was saying stop, but she was laughing. So I didn't really, and she turned it into, that's what a rapist says. You really wanted it, baby. Yeah. No means yes. And I'm like, dude, I'm watching this.
I've seen the clips.
16 years old, and I didn't even see it. And Tammy didn't even. And then the most famous, infamous line from that whole argument is Tammy, when she finally got upset about it, yelling, "It wasn't not funny." I will never forget her holding a cup. She goes, "We gonna head up in this motherfucker." And you followed it up with that, and it was just great.
Listen,
TV.
Beth is just so unapologetically fucking crazy and an instigator. And all the girls always gang up on her, and she is just always if we had a Beth in this season of the Challenge 36, Jesus, we would actually have a television show to watch and not be done recapping in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
She would be gone.
She is just so entertaining, such good TV that
but she would be gone.
I'm always happy.
She would be thrown in every single week like she usually is. Until she's gone.
Yeah, and I would still be talking about her 50 million episodes later because that is Beth.
I could see Beth, if Beth had been on the season of Double Agents, she gets thrown in with Natalie Anderson, and Natalie Anderson fucks her up.
I hope that we get a confessional of Beth talking about Nehemiah and calling him a tenderoni again. That's what I want to see here. Beth, I reached out to her on Instagram before she went filming for this to see if she wanted to come on to our show to talk about the challenge.
You run that by me first.
She never got back to me. All right, so next we have Trishelle, another reality TV royalty here.
Next move.
So she's from Real World Las Vegas. She's competed on 4 seasons, never won. She's another one that's going to bring the drama a lot. She's also very unapologetically just bananas. And she's from Cutoff, Louisiana. I remember that. Any thoughts about Trishelle?
I mean, like the name implies, she's a garbage person. Let's throw her in the trash.
Yeah.
It's just, I just remember her talking about where she came from and how she ended up from her evolution for being a small town called Cutoff, Louisiana, and then ending up in Playboy. Yeah. It was just one of the first reality kind of full circles that I've ever written. So.
Yeah, no, but that is so true, Allison. Like the impact that reality TV had at the time, and like you're right, like that was like we had never seen something like that before.
No, and back then, what you guys have to, I mean, and I'm not saying you don't understand, but for me, back then, people had viewing parties for the Real World.
Yeah.
You know, there was no Survivor yet. There wasn't any Big Brother. When you got your friends together and you watched the Real World together and you recorded it on your VCR and you watched it when you got home, like that's what you did. You waited all week for this 30-minute show because it didn't go into being an hour.
I mean, Time Magazine like had a cover. Sorry to interrupt, Allison. Time Magazine had like a cover calling it. They didn't even call it reality TV at first. They called it voyeur television.
There was no real format, and like even when The Bachelor started and Survivor started, people had VCR. Like you watched it live. You went home and you watched these shows, or you recorded on your video. There was no DVRs. It was just a really different time, and you got excited about it, and you were actually seeing things that you had never seen before, especially for me.
Totally. So next we have Big Easy from the Challenge Fresh Meat. Excited to see some fresh meat representation here.
He's lost some weight.
I was about to say he is in definite better shape than he has ever been on.
And I hope, Matt, that you're right, that like him and Katie really look out.
I have a feeling him and Katie will link up.
I love their friendship. You know, it fits like exactly right, like the two of their personalities together.
And I think because he's lost some weight, Katie won't feel like she's carrying kind of dead weight proverbially around.
And he won't pass out and almost die during the final. Seriously, and I'm not making a joke, but
that's why
literally
the veterans team lost their final to the rookies was because he passed out. And because they had to medevac him, it was a default.
Listen, if we ever go on a challenge together and I pass out, you have full permission to tie me to your leg and drag my ass. I don't care. Tie me to your back like Yoda.
It's like, here's my video proof written document that she said I can carry her ass unconscious to the finish line that we can win. Because that is what Allison Gigi Kelly wanted, and that is damn it what we're doing.
Man, Ruthie has gone rock star. What is this haircut?
So she was the last on the Duel 2. That was her last challenge before she took a little break. I'm very excited to see Ruthie back. I'm always excited to see Ruthie. She looks like a badass.
She's always been a badass.
I love the evolution. I love where she's, I don't love how I met her on the Real World, but I do, coming from one person to another who has experienced addiction, it just warms my heart to see her come from one end to the other and look amazing and do amazing work. And I'm so excited.
That was like really great, authentic representation for
it is
kind of like when Paula was on Key West and was like struggling with anorexia at the time.
Well, That girl was this big around on her seasons.
But like that's what the Real World, in my opinion, is like at its best, is like really showing like raw, authentic like challenges that people face and them overcoming them. So you're right. Like I'm so happy to see Ruthie.
Well, it did in the beginning.
I wonder if this is going to be one of the seasons where alcohol is not as prevalently featured.
I don't think it will.
And
they had a big cheers in the trailer.
This could be like a test run for like a main season to not have as much alcohol and see if it's like, you know, do you need the booze to get the drama?
Do we need the igloo segment?
Honey,
the answer is no.
I can answer this for you. I'm in my 40s. You don't need alcohol for drama, honey. We on Wellbutrin, Prozac. We on all kinds of shit. We got weak knees, bad hips, migraines for no damn reason. We got other issues going on. We don't need alcohol. But Ruthie's background is she has severe alcohol addiction on her season that was so bad that she blacked out and they had to revive her.
Yeah, they didn't, I think, didn't they remove her from the season for like a few days to like sober her up?
I think and then I think she ended up leaving.
I think the production team like removed her for a couple days and then she decided I'm just not coming.
Yeah, I think that was her oh shit moment.
But when she's been on the challenge for Sam, she's been a badass.
She's great.
Like, you don't pick fights with Ruthie.
Yeah.
No.
Because more often than not, you will lose that elimination fight if you pick that fight with Ruthie.
This is another person that if you go into elimination, you will need a hip replacement, probably shoulder surgery, and your jaw reattached. Because that's what us older people have to look forward to when we go into physical matches. Okay.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Cyrus from Real World Boston. He's won one of the 5 challenges he's been on. I just always think of Cyrus as a really nice guy. Not like the best like challenge competitor, but just a really authentic human being.
Didn't he help with Derek's like coming out party to like the top when Derek like eliminated him in like they had like
I don't remember.
A brawl or something like that. Like something head to head with wrestling and like a pole. And like Derek's the first
was that in
Derek
the ruins?
I think it was one of the gauntlets when Derek was like a captain.
Okay, that sounds like the gauntlet.
I just remember him and like because Derek picked like the physical challenge because it was a captain's choice and Derek like it was a wrestling type challenge and he upset Cyrus.
I just remember Boston, the Real World was the first season that came on after my son was born in 97.
That was with Montana, right?
Yeah, and the guy who's a senator now, who's married to Rachel Campos, Duffy.
No, he's a congressman. He's not a senator.
Congressman, that's right. But I remember, this is another point. I moved and I didn't have cable. And every Thursday night, little baby Jacob and I would go to my mom's house and watch The Real World with my parents. And that was the first season my parents ever watched of The Real World because I would come over and watch it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, there you go, guys. That is the cast for The Real World All-Stars premiering on April 1st on Paramount Plus. I'm very excited. The cast could be worse than it is. And hopefully this opens the door to more OG seasons. If Evelyn's interested, I think that's really...
I also saw a picture on Facebook of after the first day of shooting, apparently Rachel and Veronica showed up with shirts saying, "Where's Rachel? Where's Veronica?"
Yeah, Rachel. She needs to be back for an OG. I think it could happen a second season. I definitely think there will be a second season of this. The trailer on YouTube has already reached 2 million views, which is
and somebody leaves. Somebody quits and flips everybody off.
I know who it is, but I'm not.
We're not supposed. But there is drama because TJ does say "see ya," never want to see you again.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
I don't know who it is, but if I were to guess, it would probably be either Trishelle or Beth.
It's not Beth.
Beth might actually stick it out this season, and we'll be eating our words. So, okay, so my winners are Mark and Derek. Who are your 2 winners?
I mean, it's hard to bet against Derek in anything. Like, literally, it's almost impossible to bet against Derek. I would like to see Derek and Ruthie, if I had to pick a guy and a girl.
I'm going to say...
You say
yeah,
Beth.
Derek and Ruthie is good.
If he says Beth, can you remove him from the stream, Alan?
I'm going to say, for a girl, I'm going to say Kellyanne.
Okay.
And for a guy...
There's a lot of good guys on this season.
There is, yeah.
Guy and girl. So can I do, like, Derek and...
This is literally your show. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, thank you. Derek, okay, and... You already said Ruthie, so...
I can see Ace being... okay, so Ace is my... Kellyanne and Ace.
Who
are the girls again?
Did they? Did those 2 almost date?
Agreed.
Yes, you should. But, okay, so what girls should I pick? Who are the girls again? I'm not picking Anissa.
Who is
There's not a lot of good girls that I would
not
be like...
picking Belle.
Who's that blonde girl that we said was in really good shape?
Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall.
Okay, so I'll do Derek.
Jemmy looks in good shape.
Yeah.
Do Derek and Kendall.
Okay.
And Mark. Because I can have
who are yours, Matt?
I would say Derek and Ruthie would be like in a dream world. That's who I would pick, mostly because I feel like no one will want to fight them.
Yeah.
In an elimination.
Yeah. And Sam says Kellyanne as well. So we shall see. But thank you guys all for tuning in as we quickly recapped the challenge. Double dumpster. Oh, I'm sorry, double agents. And then we talked about...
it wasn't that bad of an episode, Tyler. Behave.
Listen, forgive us if we take a break from that and start covering the All-Stars and then circle back around.
Oh, whoops.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to circle back around.
Yeah, for double, because it'll still be on.
Out.
Jesus. Good Lord have mercy.
I know. Yep. All right. Well, we will be back next week to talk about the challenge double agents, and then we'll be back on Thursday to talk about week 4 of Big Brother Canada 9. I'm very excited about what Kiefer is going to do. But we will save that all for next week. Matt, thanks for joining us as always, and thank you for being such an amazing patron and mod in the chat.
I do what I can.
Oh, well, we appreciate it.
We appreciate it. All right. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye.